Hey, welcome to Beyond the Pole Radio. I'm your host, Katrina Lee, and we are WRLP or WRFZ Rochester Free Radio, rochesterfreeradio.com. You can find our page Beyond the Pole Radio, Katrina Lee, and you can find me on Facebook, Katrina Lee and Katrina Lee. So, my life has had a lot of changes since I started this show 4 years and 4 months ago, exactly on this date. And good things, really. There is everything in life is accountability. Like it's just something really important in life that a lot of people don't kind of display, initiate, or even want to admit. They'll be like, those sayings like "never admit you're wrong," like hold it in. No, like you should admit you're wrong. When you make a mistake, you should say, I made a mistake. You should go and apologize. You should do that stuff. Maybe that person, even if they don't want to believe you, it doesn't matter. You still told them. You at least did those steps. Some people never will forgive you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But after you take those steps, you can move on with your life. And like obviously we talked about on the show, I've had DWIs and survived a horribly domestically abusive relationship, which continued on to stalking and intimidation, and just continued until even not long ago when I got a very public lawsuit that was all over the paper of just slander and lies. And he's done everything he could to sabotage me and harm me through the years, which has been discussed on this show. And I had to pull myself, and I did, completely out of the adult industry, and I changed my life around, which was great, but it's really hard. And there's some things that will be continued on this show eventually. But when you're in the adult industry, it like encompasses every aspect of your life. Like things that you're starting to think are normal really aren't. And you're around other girls and they start doing the same thing. So it becomes like adjusted, like this is how people behave or act. And just relationships are destroyed. I realized, and I also caught him saying a lot. So I apologize on that. But I realized that I have never had a healthy relationship ever until recent. And I guess I wasn't aware. And a lot of things, just kind of came clear. But sometimes you just don't see it and you stick with something for way too much longer than you should have. Like, you should have gotten divorced years ago because it wasn't there. And you probably could have been happier finding the right person. But you just stick with it because you're old and you're scared to make a move, or you're just, I don't know, just stuck with a business and you don't have the money to separate. But I mean, you're only hurting yourself by not making those changes. And I was in a marriage to a severe drug addict, alcoholic, my first of everything. And I was young and I didn't know much better, and it threw me off. It was so intense, and I never ever drank. And my whole life was just spiraling. And I had this complete psychopath try to swoop me up like a knight in shining armor, and I'll fix everything. And that's what really caused all the problems. But none of them have been good. It's been all dealing with hardcore alcoholics, having to pay money, being used, going stuff in and out, lies, games, and even like smaller, like not as significant relationships and marriages have continued that way, where I will give my whole heart out and do anything for someone and drop it. Like, you need 200, I'll send it to you if you need it and I care about you. Like, you want this, I'll just go out of my way. And I've always been like that. And I was in this really messed up on and off relationship situation for 3 years. And just, I was talking to Andrew, and I was saying like how it was going, and then he had paused, like, I don't understand, why are you letting people treat you like that? And I get it all the time in rehab, and I just wasn't thinking about exactly why. I wasn't at that point of trauma counseling or where yet, but I did. I honestly, I felt I was lower than garbage. I felt like I was nothing. When I went to Bradford, Pennsylvania for rehab, because my husband suggested it and I really wasn't drinking at that time, they told me I had to leave early. It was supposed to be a 21 program dual diagnosis, and insurance would only cover it for 2 weeks because they said I didn't need that type of treatment and it could be provided and outpatient. He was aware of this. He knew, and I told him multiple times throughout the week. He went crazy trying to call and keep me there. Well, he left me. He left me like a complete bag of garbage outside with no cell phone or any help outside of rehab facility in Pennsylvania, where I couldn't get on Facebook. I couldn't ask any one of my friends. I had nothing, waiting and waiting. There is no cabs. It was a Sunday. The closest one was from Mercer, Pennsylvania, to try to go to Williamsville, Cheektowaga. And it didn't work. So my loser ex kept baiting me, like, don't worry, I'm with this guy who's going to come get Aaron Lamarca, all these names that kept changing, and nothing happened. But I ended up paying over $300 for a taxi and getting back to where I was to come home to multiple pornos on different TVs throughout the apartment, blood on the walls, ripped up sheets he was trying to wash, him just absolutely wrecked, alcohol and cocaine all over the counter, and adult toys used that some weren't mine, put with mine, and just lube spilled out all over my stuff. And there was another girl's razor inside his son's bathroom. And he sat there and just kept trying to deny it, but I don't think you understand how low you can feel. You already feel low. You're in an abusive relationship. You're being ran down to the ground. You start feeling happier because you go to rehab and you start meeting different people and you start just feeling better because it's better than what it is at home. Anything is better than what is at home because home is that bad. Then you're like, my God, just relaxing. I'm being screamed at every day and being told I'm ugly or I'm fat or I'm stupid and all this stuff thrown at me when it was all the things that he loved about me. Like, that's the confusing part. You don't get it, so you keep trying. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not doing this, that. You're never going to achieve what they want. And just there. And just how much that hurt and fell. And then, that's why I just consistently never healed. I went and I coped with alcohol. Bad. Like, bad. We're talking, I got to a bottle a day. I didn't want to live. I was just going through motions. Then there was a really big suicide attempt, which was the accident which brought me back to life again. Honestly, it made me realize what I was here for, who my real friends were. But that's when the whole change around out of the clubs, the industry, and everything really began. Like, I realized who was my friends, who wasn't. And just important. And that's when I started talking about more of the rehab things and my struggles or going through it and different. And I've never denied having problems. Ever. I've worked on them. If anything, I admit I have the problems before other people even have a chance to tell me because I am self-aware and I want to correct it and I want to have like a normal, healthy lifestyle. So when he was asking me this stuff, like why, and it's just no self-esteem, I wasn't feeling worth like anything. And my counselors asked, and why would you keep doing that even up till Christmas, helping this guy who deserved absolutely nothing? And I just kept giving them and giving and giving. And it's just heartbreaking on it for nothing. A guy who didn't care and destroyed me. And after him, I said I would never let anyone do this to me again. I absolutely refuse. I'm not going to get hurt like that. I dealt with this way too long. I've never had, aside from my family and the dealing with the marriages, I never had a good Christmas. I've never had a good holiday. I never had anything. And I'm having it now for the first time. And it's unbelievable. And that's like the biggest thing is I have over a year's sobriety and I've been in this program and it works amazing and I'm really taking it seriously because of what my ex did and the judge and all this stuff on the news and knowing more is coming because I can't mess up. It's not that I can't mess up because I'm going to go to jail or anything. Big deal. I can't mess up because everything is way too important and way too much is riding on this for me to mess up and literally hand everything over to my ex for no reason. I fought and fought as I talked on this show and I survived and I made it and I still am and I'm going to still go because I'm not a person who's going to roll over. I fight for what is right. And when I truly believe in something, I will go all out. And I'm just at the right point for positive decisions and healthy lifestyles. And I was talking with court and everything, and they're super proud of me, and so that I'm honestly doing the best that I possibly could. And it's been a lot of movements. I'm not saying what I did was wrong or right, because I made a mistake. At least I admit what I did was wrong, and I'm sorry, and I'm doing everything I can to fix it to the best of my capability, and that's all I can offer. And I did hurt a person in the car accident, and I feel bad about that. Obviously, I did the whole time. But, I mean, that's when you say you're sorry and you admit it. And we are going to go in a song break as I'm going to explain that Beyond the Pole is ending. And it's going to be a new show and some of the directions I'm thinking about taking it in. You are listening to the former Beyond the Pole Radio with your host, Katrina Lee. Hey, welcome back. It's really weird. With Katrina Lee. So, like I said, Beyond the Pole has ended. Right now, it's the Cat's Meow, the show. And I don't know if it's going to last for a while. I'm working on names. This kind of got thrown at me with the big lifestyle changes court. And I don't know if you kind of realize this, but things that I talked about on the radio, not knowing what was going to happen, turns into evidence. So everyone out there who's recording stuff and podcasts and all that, like your information and all that's out there. So this could happen to you. So, I mean, obviously don't make up stories. Don't do that. You don't know who's going to find you and ask for your opinion or what's being out there, who's listening to what. But a lot of my stuff I talked to as it was going on and issues with my ex and all that, me arrested for things I didn't do was all documented. And now it's evidence and I really can't talk about anything anymore really on the show. So we are, closing out Beyond the Pole, and it's all happened quickly. But I closed my final adult store, which was in Playmates. It was inside, and they reopened. All the clubs are still like COVID hours to like 11, and they're reduced on when they open and the times are available. It was just bittersweet. I have nice things to say about the club. Everyone's got negative things to say here and there. At the time, I needed it, and they definitely helped me out and helped start to build up the self-esteem and the pieces because I was destroyed financially. My ex did everything he could to hurt me, and he called all these places so I couldn't work, and Rochester welcomed me. Like easy, I have been working up here, but it was great, and he had no connections up here. And even when you call the radio station and threaten about the show over and over and over and trying to get me off the air and canceled, no one cared about him up here. It was one of the best moves, and I want to thank all the people in Rochester, and I mean all my friends, but especially Rochester for helping me feel so loved and being there because I really hated Buffalo for a while, and it really was some safety issues. But I'm not sure. I got a bunch of ideas because I do have Rochester Serial Killer opening up in the tours not far away. That website's being worked on now. I have another company with making different dog shirts that are coming out. I have the movies, including this week is going to be Assault at VA 33, which is going to be, I actually just double checked with my casting director when it was because I couldn't find it, but the closest theater to us in Buffalo is in Delaware, or to us that we will have is in Delaware, the state.
I thought I saw one in Ohio that would do it. No?
Well, Delaware might be when you cross to the same amount. I don't know. But that's what he said, and then it will be available on Spectrum, Amazon Prime, iTunes, etc. 4 days later on April 6th. So that's the answer. You can get it on everything.
Well,
April
we're looking
6th.
forward to seeing you.
Because someone told me Fandango, and I think it was you, Gary.
Yeah.
Actually, that just seems so much harder. But Amazon Prime's a piece of cake. I didn't know that. I asked Peter Johnson from Casting Buffalo. Yeah. And I'm filming the new Paramount movie. I can't really talk about it too much because I'm SAG now. And SAG-AFTRA, and we're not allowed to say details. And it could actually affect my membership in the union, too. I also took down the Katrina Lee, the adult state. If you're a current member, you can stay on, but it's just folding everyone out, and that's done. I'm not doing any updates. That's another thing from the past of the final adult removal. So I am literally, after 18 years, finally, basically completely out of the adult industry, except selling some more stuff on eBay and some fun stories and stuff with my friend. I'm out. I'm not in any clubs. I don't want to be in them. I don't like how they changed through COVID. I don't care what anyone says. The prostitution went rampant. It went rampant across all of the United States, and they need to fix some of this stuff because none of these girls were on payroll. None of these girls had help. None of them were paying taxes at all. And this is a time that they can start the crackdown, especially in other states, and start making the clubs change the 1099 and pay them per hour so that they do get unemployment. So they have benefits. So they're not completely screwed with nothing. But on the other hand, it's your fault. So those girls out there saying, oh, this is so terrible. You should have been claiming taxes. You should have been filing some stuff. You should have put money aside. You should have been prepared. It didn't hit me that hard, and I didn't have a guy paying for all my bills. I didn't have to start prostituting myself. I wasn't all over OnlyFans and, just one-upping each other and doing it cheaper and cheaper. There's much more positive ways out there to, fix your life and get up. So the Katrina Lee's gone. My Katrina Lee Facebook page, which was the more adulty one, is turning in, if it isn't completely yet, is an acting and feature page. So I have so many different things, companies. I travel around. I have fun. I have awesome friends. This show is going to turn into that. So there's going to be a lot of cool songs. There's going to be neat interviews, call-ins. There's going to be cool pictures, events, and different stuff. It's not like the Katrina Lee like life show because I just don't feel like I'm that important or significant, but it is more. It's gonna be all the things I love and I wanted to do and share with people, and just all really cool people that inspire me, and stories and just fun stuff for the week, and then even just updates. I love serial killer stuff. Tell on some facts on the tours and different, and then song requests where you can say like, "Will you marry me? Happy birthday?" Where it'll be only like $1 through Cash App or something. Can put out and we can play what you want, and I'm just excited because this is more what I wanted. And it just kept changing, trying to make everyone happy. But that's where we're at. There's no name. I'll update. Everyone can hit me up if you have a cool suggestion or idea. Please tell me, Katrina Lee. Inbox me on Facebook or hit up the pages because I'm gonna be some work over the holiday and the weekend. So I'm looking forward to this and the changes. 2021 is my year of ups and downs. It's just really crazy. You don't know what to expect every day. But I am holding on and moving forward. And that's all that matters. So everyone stay safe and enjoy the weekend.